We're good. Okay. Hi everyone. I'm Wesley. Oh, so we do this thing where I say that, and then you go like, "Hi Wesley," like it's in class. So let's run that back. Hi everyone. I'm Wesley. There you go. I'm gonna take the next like 10 or 15 minutes or so to like kind of tell you how things are going. I just got here yesterday, so it's not really gonna be super structured. I don't have a lot of time to get everything ready, but I just want to kind of go over how it went. First from the top-down level, and I'll tell you a couple stories about things specifically. So we got there, we got on the plane like a Friday night, Saturday morning. It was like 17 hours of travel, kind of crazy. We get there, we get settled in the hotel. We meet kind of the pastor. So what we're here doing is we're representing a church in La Paz, and then as we go out throughout the week, we'll be going to different locations and representing different churches. So as we share the gospel, those who come to Christ, we can invite them to those churches so that we can get them connected. So we ended up going to 3 different locations throughout the week. This picture here is we took after the second day of service on Monday. This was with the first church. I don't remember the name because it's in Spanish. I don't know Spanish, so there's that. Kind of the structures that we had every day was, on Sunday we went to their church. It was really cool attending a church that you can't understand and in a different culture. Very interesting. It was a Baptist church, so I actually felt kind of similar to how we do things. So it's kind of cool to see what's different and what's the same. On Monday is when things started, the actual structure so we'd have of the weeks would began to get set. So it was 7:30 is when we'd have breakfast. We'd be out in the community by 8:30. Then we'd be back at noon for lunch, and we'd be back out in the community by 1:30. So we'd spend about 6 or 7 hours every day just talking being out in the community, sharing the gospel, giving clean water. So we did that Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then just throughout the week, something that's kind of I think is really important with this whole thing is just not just being out, but also having that group cohesion there, which we totally had. It was awesome, an awesome time in the group. Can we show the next picture? Is that possible? Yeah. So that is a picture. That is not one that my group did. I just wanted to show you kind of how the structure. So anyone who'd say would be wearing that's one of the translators is Samir. We all have our translators. As we are going out, I'll say this: we're given translators. There were 6 translators, all of them phenomenal, just great. Very familiar with the gospel, have been, as far as I know, Christians for quite some time and quite experienced, so they're awesome. We also went out with church members of the churches we're representing so that we can have that easy connection between those when we are needing that. So can we do the next picture as well? So that, I want to start off with this. So this one is a picture, that's Orlin on the right and Patricia on the left. They were kind of like a reprieve for that day. So this day was on Tuesday. That was a tougher day because we were meeting with, like a lot of Honduras and Latin America is very Catholic, whether in culture simply or strong beliefs. So the people we had met with had strong Catholic beliefs and were quite old, so they were very difficult to just understand what kind of we were talking about. It was a tougher day, bad day. So having them was really awesome. They had a Bible on their desk as we had walked in, so it was clear that they were strong Christians. And as we got to know them, they were already attending church, and it was really cool to see them as they were going. Can we do the next picture? This one was one of my favorites. So her name is Nazareth, which is an awesome name, by the way. she had never really heard the gospel. It's just through like culture, like that's going to be a recurring theme here. It's just culture that these guys know these kinds of things. But for her, she never really heard, so we kind of walked her through what's going on. And as we were talking, she kind of just came to realize what we were talking about, and it was really cool to see that. This was the first person that we had talked to, and she was like really enthusiastic about it as we got to talk to her about it. She was like, yes, like when we asked her if she wanted to receive Christ, she was like, absolutely yes. So we immediately, our translator, Samir, got to praying with her. And it was just really cool to see that with her, we met with 3 families at the same time, because it's all like in this kind of small area. It was really a really cool time, and you can see how enthusiastic she is just in that picture. And it was really cool to see. Can we do the next picture? So this is Darwin and Nelsie and David. I want to show this picture because of David. So David, he's 10, and he doesn't go to English school, anything. But he could like understand us and speak some really, really good English, and that's because, and this is the kind of the funny story, he learns through Roblox and Fortnite and all of that, which is kind of funny. So he plays these games and gets matched up with American English-speaking people and just learns through that, which is just really cool. He came across as very, very smart, very intelligent. So that's why I want to show that. You can go to the next one. Oh, they were good Christians, strong Christians as well. A lot of people were either already Christian or Catholic or didn't really, or like culturally Catholic rather than actual belief. So we can do the next picture. So this was our one of the people on our first day. So our first day on Sunday in the afternoon was a group, another triple. So we had 2 triple house families back to back, which means we gave out a lot of filters very quickly. But this is, I don't remember her name. This is also my group. That's Victoria on the left, myself, I guess I don't remember her name, and then Kenny and Hosanna. Our group, we had the same group going every time. The next couple pictures are going to be all like from the same families. Why I wanted to show this one. So that's Edgar. Clint is the one taking the picture. He's one of the leaders of the entire trip. Then there's Edgar on the right, Sarah on the left there, and then going to the next picture, if possible, I think. And then that was the 3rd family in this group. I don't remember all their names because there are so many names this week. But so yeah, that was 3 families. Edgar, that was on the previous, was not a Christian. I don't think Sarah was either. Sarah wasn't like super present during the gospel conversation, but he did end up coming to Christ. So it was really cool to see on the first visit. We got to see that happen, which was really, really cool to see. So, trying to remember. Is there the next picture? That was the last one? Okay. So the one story that I wanted to share wasn't part of my group, but it was really just encapsulating of how God provided for us in this trip. It was kind of crazy. So there was another group that was sharing. There were five groups, I think. So this was Tuesday. They went out in the morning, went to this house, and were told to come back in the afternoon. So they went to a different house, finished off the morning. But they came back to that house in the afternoon, and they were told to go. They were busy doing laundry or something, so they were told to go away. So they came to this other house, and there was this big mean dog that was there. It was barking and would probably kill you if you opened the gate or something. He was aggressive. So they call out to whoever's in the house, and a woman comes up and tells them to just kind of go away. So Clint, who you saw in the previous, tells the translator Ariel that to just let her know that we come with like a free gift. So she's like, "Yeah, okay, I'll let you like tell me what you're doing." So she leads them to the front, and there's just like this big, large gate. Remember that there's this large gate in front of the house. It's like 12 feet tall, 10 feet wide, something like that. And so they're kind of like talking about how, like, if they're going to go in, because there's this dog that kind of follows them to the front, and they're like, we're here to talk, we got to go in. So they ask her, if we come in, is this dog going to kill us? And and she's like, maybe, like. So, but they end up going in anyway, and as soon as the gate opens, they walk in, the dog shuts up and goes away. So it's like, wow, like that's kind of God's provision is like going to be seen throughout the story. It's just one of, like, I think they said like 6 times that it was just like something very, very unusual, like borderline miraculous just happens, and it's really cool to see. They come in, they talk, they get to know her some, and they begin the filter demonstration. I think it doesn't matter who was on it because you don't know any of these people probably. So, but Lily was on it. She's from Missouri S&T, and let's see. So as they're like doing the filter demonstration, these 2 guys who are in the yard kind of come up. There's like 2 gates. There's like a large outer gate, and then there's like a gate for the inner porch. So the 2 guys who are working in a yard come up and start kind of listening in, like during the filter demonstration. So when we transition to the gospel, it's like, we want to give you this gift of the clean water, but we also want to give you this second gift of Christ. And so Ariel, who's the translator, says, them too, like referring to the guys who had just jumped to the inside gate. And it was, so it's like, yes, we want to share it to everyone. So they come in, and as they're kind of like explaining what's going on, and like we ask, because like we always ask if we can share, just because it's really important to give these guys, like everyone we're sharing with, because of like the different culture, we want to be kind and give them dignity with everything that we do and how we interact with them. So we ask them, and they're like, please share with us. Like, it's very enthusiastic for all of them, and it was very encouraged for them to see that. But as they kind of share, they start with John 3:16, and it becomes very clear that none of these people have heard the gospel before. No one's read the Bible, heard anything from it. Ariel quickly like kind of gives them a rundown of like how chapters, books, and verses of the Bible work. So they begin, and they're like, in this entire time, they're like super into it, like trying to learn how it all works. So they go through the gospel demonstration, kind of like giving a lot of detail into this like special words like reconciliation, justification, faith, grace, all of that. And they, as they're doing this, kind of make a point to talk about how they don't think they're here by accident. Like this is, like already even getting to this point is like several things have happened that have pointed them to this house. And it's just, and they're like, yeah, thank you for blessing us with this, with both gifts. So they get to the part of the gospel demonstration where they're like, you need Jesus to be saved. And when asked, they said that they didn't have a relationship with Jesus. So they read John 3:16 again, and like 2 seconds before Barrett, who's the leader of this group, asks if they want to receive Jesus, Taylor, who has been praying up in this point, brings out a verse from Revelation that was just absolutely perfect, just completely rained verse. Revelation 22:17, which says, pull it up. The Spirit and the bride say, come, and let the one who hears say, come, and let the one who is thirsty come. Let the one who desires to take the water of life without price. So that was just kind of perfect with that. So they kind of explained, like, just as we bring water filters to bring clean water for free, Jesus wants us to come and drink the living water for free. We don't have to do anything. All we have to do is trust in Jesus and accept him. So then they asked, do you want to make this decision today? And they all said yes. So Ariel had never led anyone through the prayer, but Clint kind of explained it and talked him through it, and so they all prayed through it, and he did a phenomenal job. But afterwards, because there's only so much time that you can explain in these time slots, that you just so they just decided to just get to know him better, and found out, and then re-explain this, we're not here by accident, it's you specifically, and there were some tears shed about that. That was just kind of really cool to see. I'm sure I wasn't there, but this is a secondhand story. But they got to know him and found out that one of the guys who had come was an electrician for the airport, and this is his one day off that he's working here. Every other day when he's working, he's at the airport, not here. So just him being here in itself was just provision from God. It was really cool to see. And then that large gate that I told you to remember at the beginning of the story is also perpetually, always blocked off. You can't get through it ever. And no one, just like that, and the fact that no one in this house also lives here. The two guys, they are workers working in the yard. They don't live here. The woman is the mother of the house owner. So it's just so many things that just show God's provision for that house visit specifically, and also just as an example for this entire trip. There were so many things that could have gone wrong that went so smoothly. No one ever, planes were always on time. No one ever lost anything. Nothing was stolen from anybody. It was just amazing to see the provision for that. So, yeah. I guess I'm out of time. I was gonna see if anyone wanted to ask anything, but I guess we're out of time. So, yep. Yeah. See me afterwards. So.